Well, don't I feel like a jackass. Growing up, I definitely did watch The Little Mermaid a few times, but it really wasn't one of my personal favorites. But upon rewatching it the other day, it's definitely a movie I appreciate much more now than when I was younger. The songs are all great and really catchy, with my two favorites being Under the Sea and Poor Unfortunate Souls. Ariel is a very likable lead, and Jodie Benson's voice is just beautiful. The animation is gorgeous, and it's the movie that started the Disney Renaissance, so I do gotta appreciate it for that. But you could debate that Who Framed Roger Rabbit started the Disney Renaissance. I think it did. But even if it's not one of my favorites, I was still dreading having to watch the live-action remake, because I don't like a good majority of the others, some I absolutely despise, and The Little Mermaid really seems like one that would translate terribly into live action, especially with how cartoony some of the scenes are. I was even telling friends of mine to not expect a review from me, but a rant. Hell, I was dreading this so much that I was even writing small parody songs in my head about how much the movie was gonna suck, like this one. This dumpster fire is gonna, what's the word? Burn. This movie's gonna suck balls. I'd rather slam my head into a wall. Under ring. Whatever happened to original Disney? But as the release date was getting closer, I decided that I was going to go into the movie open-minded despite not looking forward to it. And you're probably wondering, why did I say I feel like a jackass? Because this movie's actually not that bad and I kind of enjoyed it. Oh, don't get me wrong, this is a very flawed movie. So flawed that I'm shocked that I didn't hate this. Unlike something like 2019's Aladdin, where the bad really overrided the good, The Little Mermaid is better at overriding the bad, but it's still kind of a mixed bag of a movie. I'm going to start with the positives. Halle Bailey is just great as Ariel. She did an amazing job bringing this character to life, and my favorite thing about her is that they finally got someone for the lead role in one of these stupid-ass remakes that can actually sing. This girl has such an amazing voice that every time she started singing, I was getting goosebumps. And it does make sense that she has a beautiful voice, because Ariel is a character known for having a beautiful voice. They also did fix one of the big problems with the original Ariel. In the original, she sings about wanting to go to the surface to ask humans questions and get some answers, but that completely gets forgotten about because she wants some dick. In this one, she wants to get with Eric, but she actually goes around exploring all the stuff she wanted to see, and she's amazed at what she learns. And in the half of the movie where she doesn't speak, she is great with her facial expressions, and she has a beautiful smile. You can tell she really loved making this movie. Melissa McCarthy was just great casting as Ursula. She really does steal the spotlight in every scene that she's in, and there's even points where I forgot it was Melissa McCarthy. And it's one of her best roles in forever, because she's not tripping over everything, she's not getting tangled in the tentacles, and just like in the original, Poor Unfortunate Souls was my favorite part of the movie, if not my favorite. They even made her a little bit more threatening than in the original. Yeah, you remember in the original, where she had that garden of like shriveled up people that were her clients, and they couldn't pay her back? In this one, I guess she just killed them, because there's like skulls lying everywhere. There's even a full-on mermaid skeleton. What the fuck? Out of all the Disney remakes, it's probably the most bright and colorful, especially with some of the underwater scenes, even if those kind of look like crap, but I'll get to that. I saw it on an RPX screen, and I would highly recommend seeing this on the biggest screen you can find. I also was never bored while watching it. But when it comes to Ariel's animal sidekicks, they don't translate to live action good at all. As most of you probably know by now, Sebastian is freaking nightmare fuel and just looks terrible, but Daveed Diggs did do a good job at voicing him. Jacob Tremblay does a good job of voicing Flounder, but no matter how much emotion he puts into that voice, that dead-eyed lifeless thing we're supposed to call Flounder just has the blankest look on its face. But I wonder if the filmmakers realized this, because he's barely in the movie. After the scene where Ariel gets her legs, in this version, she's caught by a fishing net on a boat, and Flounder is just there flopping on the boat, and Sebastian's just like, okay, Flounder, we don't need you anymore, get the hell out of here. That legit got kind of a laugh out of me. The one exception out of all of them is probably Scuttle. This feels like the only one of these three characters has any real emotion, but maybe that's because of Awkwafina's performance. Oh, and I didn't know this, but apparently, birds can breathe underwater for a damn good amount of time, because there's a scene where Scuttle's underwater, like, breathing perfectly for like 5 minutes. Come here. Come here. Birds don't breathe underwater, you dumb fucks! Some people have been mixed on Javier Bardem as Triton, and honestly, he does sound really out of it and doesn't feel like Triton from the original. The scene where he destroys all of Ariel's stuff. In the original, afterwards, he feels really bad about it, and you can see it in his face. Here, he's just kind of a dick about it and is like, don't do that again. Also, Triton might be fucking around a little too much because Ariel's sisters, his daughters, are all from a different ethnicity. And another funny thing is that apparently Ursula is Triton's sister? Like father, like son, I guess. I mentioned something like this, but one of the movie's biggest disadvantages is the fact that it's not animated. Because half the stuff you could do in the animated movie, you cannot do here. And because of that, almost all the lyrics to Under the Sea are completely bullshit because half of what Sebastian says is happening very much isn't.
Play the flute, top play the hop, play the bass and they sound and sharp. The bass play the brass, the chub play the top.
I've said this a couple times already, but the CGI is kinda bad. The one really bad one I haven't talked about yet is at the end when Ursula turns gigantic. I guess I also noticed that this looked terrible because the entire climax is really dark and sometimes hard to see. The movie is also 50 minutes longer and I have no idea why. There's a couple added scenes and songs, but they don't go on long enough to the point where it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. As for the added songs, 2 of them are okay, but I can't stand Scuttlebutt. I found that so ungodly annoying. Actually, I shit you not. When I found out that this movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes longer, I was joking with people, what, does Triton get a song? Does Scuttle have a rap? I was joking! Scuttlebutt is a rap! Sung by Scuttle. Voiced by Aquafina. And it's annoying. It's so goddamn annoying. I guess some people like it, but I don't. I also don't know if this counts as a thing where you have to see the original to get it, but they completely cut out the part where Ursula tells Ariel, oh yeah, your payment is gonna be your voice. No more talking, no more singing, zip. And as I was watching the movie and she says, it's not gonna cost much, just your voice, I was like, did she ever mention anything about needing her voice? And I decided to listen to the song on my way home, and no, she never mentions that she needs her voice until she is singing about it. This is basically how it should have played out.
Come on, you unfortunate soul! Go ahead! Make your choice! I'm a very busy woman, and I haven't got all day. It won't cost much. Just your voice.
Whoa, 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 hold on, stop the music! What was that about needing my voice? You never mentioned that part.
If you want
I'm just gonna go back and sing. That's fucking rude.
rude.
But despite some major issues with the movie, I did enjoy myself while watching this, but don't think for a second that this has changed my opinion on the Disney remakes, because this movie is still very unnecessary. But if you have kids, they'll definitely want to go see this, especially if you have daughters. But if you grew up watching The Little Mermaid on repeat, I don't exactly know what you'll think about this movie, but at least give it a shot. It's not as bad as the recent Disney Pinocchio remake, or as soulless as the Lion King one. It's definitely one of the better ones, but just enough. It's a fun movie to watch at like a matinee price, and if someone asked me to go watch it with them again, I'd be like, sure. I'm surprisingly gonna give The Little Mermaid a B-. Again, I was expecting to really hate this freaking movie, like a lot. But I also didn't just rewatch the first Little Mermaid recently, I also rewatched the 2 straight-to-DVD sequels because I was gonna do a video on those that just ended up getting canned. And to answer your question, yes. The remake is much better than both those sequels. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn on the notification bell. I'll be back with more reviews very soon. See you then.